Who am I? Investigate it. Start with the question itself. First investigate who, next investigate am, next investigate I. When you return to the I, the question will disappear and no answer will be there. That is your answer. That no answer is the answer. The river returns to the source from which it arises, the ocean, and disappears. No further inquiry to search for the river is needed. The river becomes the source. We are all returning to the source. Every sentence that we speak returns. Every activity is moving toward itself. You only have to be aware, and your journey will be ended. We are in the source itself. Even if you don't try, you are already there. Make this choice. Choose, I am free, and you are free. Choose, I am bound, and you are bound. It is your choice. You choose to be bound, you choose to suffer. If you have the choice, choose happiness and freedom. Let it be a good choice of love. When all other choices have failed miserably, and the result is suffering, we have been cheated. So let us go the other way. Nothing known has ever given us lasting happiness so far. Anything known is not permanent. Anything that has name and form is not permanent. Let us try nameless and formless emptiness this time, in this blessed span of life.
I make it so complicated when I think, what is the self? You make it sound so simple. You say, I am the self.
Yes, this simplicity is too difficult for you to digest.
I'm looking for a concept of self instead of, I am the self.
You need not make any speculation or conceptualization. This is the doer itself, and you have to agree. You cannot disagree. Can you speak to anyone else and say, I am not the self? And if you do, what will he think of you? When you are through the word I, you are complete. I contains everything. It is sufficient. If you call yourself by the name I, there will be no difficulty. You will be eternity. No death can touch you. Just remain I. That's all you have to do. How difficult is it? What is the difficulty in baptizing yourself? I am I.
That's all. That simplifies it.
Too simple to accept?
This morning I was lying on my bed and I had many doubts about what am I doing here, and many thoughts. And suddenly I felt, well, what is this? I'm lying on the bed and that is it. And all the doubts suddenly went away. And I felt very calm inside.
That is the present moment. How long did you stay in present moment? And what did you do to lose it?
I tried to analyze what had happened.
Whatever is too near is too difficult to attend to. The eyes see everything, but the eyes do not see themselves. Like this, the self, through the mind, sees all the world, but the mind doesn't return back home to be the self. How do we overcome fear? By giving up all practices in that direction.
At the moment when the fear is thick, what do you do?
At the moment between you, when you placed your fingers together and the snap, what did you do? Where did the sound of the snap come from? This sound came from undoing it. All that you have done, heard, seen and read, for a moment, forget about this and tell me, what is your face? What do you see? By simply undoing, what do you arrive at? Nothing. Ah, that is the return to your question. How to do, undo, and where do you arrive? A distance between thought and thought. This dive is the same as nothingness. When you are absolutely happy, this is the same as nothingness. When you are absolutely happy to meet your beloved after 20 years. What is the thought in your mind? No thought. Surrounded by nothingness. You have to do nothing. You have to do nothing to be who you are. Nothing at all. To become something, of course, to become a doctor is different. This is not a return to your true nature. You are always here. You deny it. You don't accept your greatness. Being eternity itself, reality itself, how can you say, I am suffering in this body? What can you do without I? Wherever you go, who is there? You can't lose this. Even in suffering, I suffer, you say. Try to leave. Breath in breath. Who is more related to you?
I am feeling much fear and vulnerability. I understand that the world is a projection, yet I feel this fragmentation.
This fear is due to the first shock of wisdom, of light. It is as if this room was closed for the last 20 years, and you enter this dark room with a torch in hand and locate the light switch. This darkness has been established for 20 years. Instantly the light is there. The darkness is confused. Fear of disappearance is there. After 20 years of darkness, how much time should it take when you face the light? After 20 years of darkness, how much time should it take when you face the light? What has happened? Fear in the mind of darkness. In an instant, it cannot be there when you face the light. The darkness of the room does not go in installments. You think you have been here for 20 years in darkness. That fear is ingrained in you. You have been living for millions of years like this, millions of years. This fear of facing the light is not a fear like other fears. This is a fear of eternity, eternal ocean of nectar, and you are swimming holding on to darkness. Somehow you get a push, or you intend to jump into the ocean of immortality yourself. In between leaving this place of darkness and the leap, fear arises. Without touching the light and after leaving the darkness, neither can you turn back, nor have you yet touched the surface. In this instant, there is what can be called fear. Fear to leap into eternity, because I will lose this body consciousness, this darkness. This is only the fear of facing the light. You will become nectar itself, no death at all. I have an impediment. This impediment is a doubt, and it keeps me from loving you fully. It is giving me a headache. What kind of headache do you have? There are two kinds that I know of. One is from carrying a load on your head, and the other is from having the load removed. If you suddenly have no load on your head, this can seem disorientating. You lose your balance and have a headache. No load can also seem like a headache. There was once a wealthy man who knew he was to die. He had never prepared himself spiritually, never meditated, so he hired 20 workers from the marketplace to meditate for him. He said, I will give you double wages and feed your meals. The workers were very excited. They wanted to begin right away, but did not know what to do. Just sit like this, the man told them, and showed them a meditation posture. After a few hours, the workers rebelled. Keep your double wages, they said. This will make us sick, sitting here doing nothing, and so they quit. So I don't know what kind of headache you have, but I suggest you give up the very idea of impediment. This idea in itself is now the only impediment. The scriptures say there are certain impediments to give up. First is the idea of a personal identity, a personality, name and form, as to who you are. Give this up, detach from it. Next is the idea of heaven after you die, the idea of merit and demerit, that action will get you anywhere. Give up this attachment as well. And then God. Give up your attachment to God itself. This idea that there is some agency outside of yourself that can help you now, give this up. And then give up the very idea of giving up. This must also be abandoned. Yesterday you said, tie up your camel and pray to Allah. I say now, ride your camel and forget about Allah. Ride the camel and you need not pray. If you tie it, you will have to untie it. If you tie it to a tree, you are also tied to it. So who will pray to Allah? Impediment is only retaining the idea of impediment. The idea of the disappearance of impediment is the last impediment. This is the last hurdle, the last rung, the last leap forward.
Light before me.
Yes, there is a leap, and there is the fear of emptiness. No name, no form. There is the fear of embracing this emptiness. You don't see anything there. Unknown. Absolutely empty. You need courage to hug that emptiness of no name and no form. Nobody can help you. Help can take you to the edge, but no one can help you here. The idea that there is help is itself an impediment. Throw away everything in name and form and jump.